Hi everyone, back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game this Monday night, 8 o'clock. What a rubbish kickoff time. Thanks, Premier League and Sky. Awful. Against Chelsea down at Stamford Bridge. Yes, we're going into that after a 3-0 victory against Wolves, where the lads they were very much back in terms of the old Newcastle United. So we've got to have a big confidence going into this game. So we're going to get stuck right into this, talk about how I think the lads are going to line up, given the recent injury updates and everything else. Talk a little bit about the game, talk about the result. Hopefully we're going to be able to pull off on Monday night. We'll get stuck into that just in a second. As we always say, before we get any further than this, if you're new to the channel, hello, good to see you. Smash subscribe, hang around a little bit longer. We're over 6,700 subs now. We're closing in that 7,000 subscriber mark. Really want to get there. Ideally, if we can get there as soon as possible, we've got a great prize to give away for 7K, and you guys can all be in it to win it when you click subscribe, because you will be in the draw when you comment on the videos that come out. So yes, give us some love, share us to family and friends, guys. I know we've not been doing this a great long period of time, but we've had a great first couple of years, and long may it continue with all you wonderful people smashing that button and hitting the notification bell, and you'll get reminded every time we do videos like this. So, as I say, 3-0 victory against Wolves. Alexander Isak's back. Joe Willock is back. Bruno's looking like he's having fun. He's doing 360 turns and no-look passes. All good, all good. The only downside probably for the game against Wolves was the loss of Kieran Trippier. So this is how I think we're going to line up. You can see the one big change really from that game is Tino coming in for Kieran Trippier. Tino was fantastic when he came in for Trippier against Wolves. He gives us that pace at the back as well against Chelsea, who are still quite a pacey side, even though they're going to be missing probably some key players in this game. They do have a bit of pace. They can get there in behind you, in the shapes of Conor Gallagher, which should be back from an injury. Jackson's got a little bit of pace, even though he's got a shit touch and can barely finish. He's still got a little bit of pace to get behind. Sterling can do that as well. So that they've always got pace on the break, Chelsea. So to have Tino in the back line is a good thing. I put Dan Burn, get my teeth right. Dan Burn at left back. I just think Eddie will stick with him. I can't see him bringing anybody else in, especially with Tino playing at right back. The back two are the same in terms of Botman and Cher. Dubravka, hopefully deputising very well in the sticks, as he's been doing really well. The midfield three is not going to change, even though there's stories about Sean Longstaff being injured. I'd quite happily see Louis Miley in this midfield, to be honest with you. I'd quite like to see Willett, Bruno and Miley in that midfield. Miley's no stranger to playing Chelsea. He's played them at Stamford Bridge. Remember, he hit that shot from the miles out and hit the crossbar. Who knows what would happen to Louis Miley if that had gone in the back of the net. But he's played against Chelsea before. He's played very well against Chelsea. So I've got no problem with Louis coming in. But I think he'll stick with Longstaff. And the front three should remain the same in terms of Gordon, Isak and Murphy. Miggy could easily come in for Murphy, maybe do a little bit of a swap around. But I think this impact sub game for Miggy is actually working quite well. I think we're getting the best out of Miggy, to be brutally honest with you, in terms of his performance right now, because he doesn't seem to be good enough to kind of start games and make an impact, but he can very much be an impact sub in terms of the game. So I think that's a good thing for Miggy to be moving forward. In terms of the opposition are a decent style. I'm just checking how they lined up in the last game. Obviously, they drew 2s each against Brentford. Jackson on the score sheet in terms of that one. So this is how they lined up. Cole Palmer's a dangerous player. He was kind of playing just off Jackson up front. Ben Chilwell was in the team, but he looks like he'll be injured for this one. Conor Gallagher is down to return for this one, but Chilwell has done his knee in. That guy is made of glass. He's a cracking player, but Jesus, he's made of glass. Levi Colwill as well also has picked up a toe injury, so maybe he won't be able to make it for the game. Conor Gallagher will be back. And I think Christopher Nkunku as well is another absentee. He's not going to be back until the end of March. I think is it Chukwukema? If I can say that right. Sorry, I probably can't. Is it Chukwuemeka even? I'll get that right. He is scheduled to come back in against us as well. And obviously long-term injuries like Wesley Fofana, Reece James, people like that are going to be missing in the game. But in terms of the team that played against Brentford and got a 2-2 draw, I mean, they've got Caicedo in midfield with Fernandes. I don't think Fernandes can lace Bruno's boots, to be brutally honest with you, in terms of the way that we play and the form that Bruno's in. I think if you think who's the £100 million player out of them two, it's Bruno Guimaraes, in my opinion, over Fernandes. He's had moments where he's looked all right, but generally I think Bruno's a much better player. Gusto's a decent player, so he'll be one to watch. And obviously, the playing with a back three against Brentford of Colwell, Chalobah, and Dizazi. So that'll have to change with those injuries coming out. But in terms of the danger players for Chelsea, I mean, I think Conor Gallagher does make some good runs. He does get in some good positions. His finishing can be a little bit suspect He's a player that Eddie Howe really likes. He's a player who's been linked to Newcastle before. So he will have energy in that midfield. But I think with Joe Willock in that midfield doing exactly that job for us, and is also more clinical when he gets into the box, I think Joe Willock will give Chelsea a lot more to worry about than Conor Gallagher should give us to worry about. Again, with Fernandes, it depends which Fernandes turns up. If it's the Fernandes that won the World Cup, we might be in trouble. But if it's the one who shows up most of the time for Chelsea, Bruno should easily be able to dispatch him. Cole Palmer is a player that I think we need to watch out for. I don't like the kid, if I'm honest with you. He looks like if he wasn't playing football, he'd probably try to burgle your house and sniffing glue behind the back of Asda or something like that. Other supermarkets, obviously, are available from that list. But that's what he looks like to me. He's a bit of a shit house. He's a decent player. He seems to score more penalties than anything else, but he does get in good positions. He's got a good touch and good control, and he can influence the game. I think Chelsea, was a good signing when they signed him from City. Again, it's pure profit for City in the old FFP type of things. But Palmer can be a dangerous player, and I think it's somebody we're going to have to be really aware of. But I feel quite confident going into this game, guys, to be honest with you. I know that sounds maybe a bit misplaced and a bit daft, really. It's probably because Mark's doing post-match because I'll be away. So if it's crap, then Mark will just blame me for it. But I'm feeling quite confident about this. In the past, we would go down to Stamford Bridge and I'd feel we didn't really have enough to really do anything in the game. I think we'd just be holding out for a draw. But I really think we could do something here in terms of the this team. This Chelsea team ain't great. Let's get that right from the start. They're sitting in 11th in the Premier League. The fans were getting a bit pissed off with Poch. They've only won one of the last 5 games. We've won 2 of our last 5. And for me, Chelsea aren't a great team. They play some decent stuff now and again, huff and the puff, but they just don't blow the door down. I think they can be got at the back. I think midfield are quite suspect. I think with Newcastle playing with a bit more form, playing a little bit of shithousery, it's a real shame we're missing someone like Joe Linton in this game, so that he would boss that midfield completely. But I'm confident Newcastle can get a result here. So I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle United for the result and keep this winning momentum going. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think we've got a chance of winning here, or do you think it's probably more likely we're going to get a draw at Stamford Bridge? We always like to hear from you. Smash a comment in. Let us know what you think about the lineup. Let us know what you think about Chelsea as well. Who's your danger man from Chelsea? If any Chelsea fans are watching, do you think it's going to be a tough game for you, or do you think you'll put us to the sword quite easily? We always like to hear from all kind of fans. It's mainly Newcastle fans, but all fans are welcome as long as you keep it clean with no abuse. And if you like what you're watching, smash subscribe, come and join us. It's all free content and ever more. There is a members option down there. If you do fancy clicking that and supporting the channel and helping us bring you this great content. I will not be here for post-match reactions, sadly. I will be in a boozer, though, watching this game, and I will try and jump with the comments. But Mark will be here, so give Mark some love. Tune in for the post-match straight after the game. It's normally what's going on, but Mark will be doing the post-match this week, and we will catch you on the next Evermore. Let's hope the lads get 3 points. See you later. Take it easy.